And we are back. Jack Rabbit Illustrated A-Team here with you tonight for the second week in a row. Dallas traveling all over. Me and Chad a little tired from yesterday's festivities. It was a long day in Brookings for us. So, so we're going to do the best we can tonight. But to kick it off, we are sponsored, as always, Jack Rabbit Illustrated is by the Kubota dealers of South Dakota. And you may have missed our flag yesterday. You may have missed our tailgating spot because Chad actually loves Kubota so much he hung the Kubota flag above the Jack Rabbit Illustrated flag at our tailgating spot and caught a lot of heck for it. So that's all right though. We do love our Kubotas because it makes sure it takes care of our acreages, right, Chad?
That's right. We mowed again today. We just got it in before the rain. Excuse me. Yeah, so.
Oh, you got some rain down there? All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's been nonstop, man. So glad to have it. And if we get snow like we've been getting this rain, good Lord, I'm going to be happy to have that snow blower.
And no doubt. Dallas, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm tired, so I am working on figuring out how to get some energy for the next hour here. Pumped to talk about this game and the upcoming Montana State game. I'm coming off a bunch of travel, so Hudson had a late Friday night game up in the Twin Cities, all the way up at Matamidi. Came back, and then we actually left. I got up at like 4:45 in the morning on Saturday, and we went to the airport, and we got to go to Ann Arbor, Michigan, to a game. And my God, guys, that was so fun. It was pretty amazing. I mean, absolutely surreal. So grateful that we got to do it, that Hudson got to do that. Highlight of the trip. I mean, it was really just in and out, didn't do anything other than just the game day deal, but getting to walk down through that tunnel that everybody that's watched college football has seen, that Tom Brady and Desmond Howard and just on and on and on, right? Like every legend that's gone through there for the last 100 years has walked down that tunnel. Where you've seen the highlight film from the fight between Ohio State and Michigan, like standing between those doors, like all that stuff. Very surreal, very cool walking down. It completely feels like there's 111,000 people there because there was. Like Mr. Brightside was actually one of the coolest things I've ever experienced before the fourth quarter. Like it was awesome. So I'm riding high on that, but short on sleep.
Yeah,
I was just going to say Dallas has saved my butt today because after being standing out in the sun and being dehydrated at the end of the week, just to start with, I have pounded like 4 different hydrates today.
Very nice.
And, I'm going to be honest. I've been adding a little extra scoop. I'm going to been double scooping it just for a little more potency.
Get those electrolytes, man. Good.
Yeah.
There we go.
And I'm still feel like I'm running behind. So y'all, if you haven't got some Renegade Regeneration Hydrate, I'm telling you, it's where it's at.
But Dallas, do you know why you're not as good as Chad and I today?
Why?
Because you didn't get to go to Cubby's yesterday and try the game day burger from our show sponsor tonight, Hadrick Ranch.
Ooh, how is it?
It's delicious. It's delicious. So it has some onion on it. That's really good. Some red onion, I think. A little tomato and a little lettuce, and I think some mayo. So it's kind of California burger a little bit, but it has bacon also, and it's really good. Got the waffle fries with it. My mouth is watering talking about this now. So it was really good. But seriously, Hadrick Ranch, if you do need some beef, go to hadrickranch.com and you can order one of their custom beef bundles that they can send anywhere in the continental U.S. And it's well worth it. It's delicious. So thank you, Hadrick Ranch and Kubota, for being sponsors. Chad.
Yes, sir.
What did you think about yesterday, huh?
Well, any win's a good win. And
oh, come on.
No, I'm serious. Any win's a good win, right? I'm just saying.
Okay.
That. We went out and dominated on defense, flat out. no questions asked. The offensive line looked fairly good. There was a few things that we could easily clean up, and I like that because we did so well. We won by a comfortable margin, and we still have a ton of room for improvement at a lot of the positions. I don't know that I can call the defense out so much other than, maybe when it's fourth and, they're at the 30, you drop that ball instead of intercepting it. There's nothing really I can say about the defense. They were just suffocating. So the defense was great. The offense was real good. Like I said, room for improvement. We're gonna have to play a little better probably next week. Can't put the ball on the turf 2 times. That's a bad thing. What else did we have here? We're for the first time playing 11-man ball in his life, he was a third of his passes were completed, and he had some drops in there, so he did real well. The stats, 430 to 131 total yards. That's not real close. So
who are you talking about? Are you
Sorry,
talking
what?
Are you talking about Chase?
Well, I switched to total yards then, but
No, it was more. No. Both of us cocked our heads on the 9-man for first time playing.
Yeah,
11-man
that was his
football.
first time playing 11-man football. As a starter. So
as a start. Okay.
Sorry. Did I not say starter?
You
My
did
bad.
not.
As a starter.
You know what? All the hype, and as much as we all love Chase, I actually really am enjoying it. I think the idea of going like, oh, I really hope the little 9-man guy can do it is just hilarious to me. I think we should just keep that the whole time. Like that's going to be our made up narrative the whole season, is just hoping he can make the adjustment to 11-man football.
Obviously, we can say the same thing about me. I've got a little rust I need to knock off because I didn't make an
I like this.
important clarification. First time starting as a quarterback in 11-man football.
That is actually a fascinating thought. I actually haven't thought of that.
Yeah. That's wild. And when Bozeman's in there with him, right? A 9-man running back. And the first person to catch a touchdown, Andrew Gustad, a 9-man fullback and tight end linebacker at Gayville Volin.
Okay, we are legit onto something. That is a cool storyline, Tanner, if you're listening.
Tanner.
Yep.
Tanner.
Please. We need this storyline.
I'm going
Chris
through my
Howard
head quick to see if there's any
Chris Howard's talking
9-man,
while you do that. Who?
Yeah, Q's 9-man. Yep.
Q's 9-man. Absolutely, Q's 9-man. So
cool.
Yeah. We got all these.
All
right. So one of the coolest parts about the game was that first 3rd and short when they went into the wing tee or whatever it's called offense, and they gave it to Gustad on the dive, and everyone around me was like, "Who's 43? That's not Bozeman." And so I opened up my Jackrabbit app quick, and sure enough, there it was, right there, Andrew Gustad. And so that was cool to see that. I thought that's who it was. I just had to be sure. And then it made it super nice that they had done that, because then he caught the touchdown pass and no one had to look who it was. So that was pretty cool. I thought back a little bit a few weeks ago. I forget who it was with, but someone asked Dan about bringing the fullback back. That might have been the press conference this week. I don't know when it was. Maybe the Tyler Merriam show, whatever it was.
Recent.
And Dan kind of gave a chuckle, like, "Oh yeah, we're bringing the fullback back to SDSU." Did anyone else catch that? Whatever interview that was.
I did. I think it was on Dan's show.
Yeah, I think it was. I love again, this is probably a made up narrative, but the thought that somebody that we've heard so many good things about in the past in terms of just being a good teammate and hard work and doing what needs to be done, and having the coaches dial up and go, "You know what, we're going to reward you and we trust you right away to kick this thing off." Like that is a cool thing. And I'm making this up, but it feels like it says a lot about the staff and the team and just kind of the way that they make decisions. So
yeah, it feels like they trust every single player on the field, right?
Yeah.
Full out.
Yep. I forget, I don't have my notes right in front of me from when I did the position coach interviews, but it was either with Eidsness or Vince Benedetto that earlier in this, in practices, they were wearing those tracker things that measure how hard you're working and how fast you're going and whatever during practice.
Mm-hmm.
And they were wearing those. And Gustad was one of the only people like that was always above like 90% or some threshold, some number like that. That you mentioned that hard work piece, Dallas. And it's just like, all right, this is him. Like this is someone that's busting their butt. And he has for 2+ years on the scout team, you know, as a fullback and as a linebacker for the scout team. So pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, we've got fans that are intelligent and aware enough and appreciate that sort of football and that sort of mentality. So just again, like I hope we can keep this going. And the idea that we can have a player like that everybody just rallies behind and supports the way that the team does. Very happy to see that.
Yeah. Julius Juice. Loffridge, he made his debut and he sure looks the part, Dallas. My goodness. Just wait till you see him live. That is a powerful man.
I'm excited to see him live. You know, highlights and stat line seem to tell the story, but no, you never know until you see somebody live. But to have somebody with that sort of just pedigree and expectation step up and do exactly what is expected, which is above and beyond in week 1, very cool to see.
159 yards. That's quite the debut. I think they said on the way home that it's been, who did they say? I'll have to go back and look. It's been like since 2002 that we had a running back that did anything near that. And,
that's impressive.
So I think you played with him.
Interesting. I'd be curious to know who that was.
It's a W name, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
All right. I'll have to. Okay. I'm curious who that might have been. The one thing though that
I want to say
sure,
Winston Wright, but I feel like he just plays a different position.
Well, what could it have been? Was it Watson?
Anthony Watson.
Yeah, Watson was a dude from Worthington, the pride of Worthington, Minnesota. Anthony Watson.
There we go.
Yep. I am very curious. Did you get any more feel for RB2 at all? I mean, you know, Bozeman hit the stat sheet. We ran some jet sweeps, so we had some receivers. You know, Eidsness did a great job getting the ball in the hands of the best athletes. But I mean, I feel like 22 carries isn't a huge load. That seems doable. However, you get through the Missouri Valley and hopefully have 4 playoff games or whatever. Somebody else is going to have to be able to step in and take, 10 to 15 carries in a game if they need to at some point. Did you guys get a feel for that at all?
Yeah.
I thought Basinger looked really good. Yeah. Like I'd like to see him get some more carries. Like I know I've been hyping him up. Everyone's been hyping him up. He looks like a natural back there, Dallas. And yesterday during the live show, I said that he kind of looks like Pierre a little bit to me out there. Like he has some of that like quick cut and just speed to him. He reminds me of Pierre. He doesn't have that gliding running style, I guess, that Pierre does, but some of the cuts and stuff remind me of that. And then Bozeman looked good too. And so I know Corey Blair, his dad's here in the chat tonight. I think he's going to be really good as well. He didn't see the field last night, but I think he was dressed. I'm pretty sure I saw him down there. So yeah, that's where I'd go. And then Bozeman got some tough yards too, so that was good to see. We ran Chase a little more than I thought we would, to be honest, on some of these run plays. But I guess when he's your best athlete, you kind of do what you got to do to get him going as well.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes he was forced to run when it wasn't a design run play too, a little bit. So
yep.
I think that's a factor in that.
Yeah,
they were bringing the house pretty much every play.
Oh, Dallas, have you watched it yet?
No, I've watched 2 sets of highlights, but I've not watched a complete game yet.
I hope Dan addresses that on the show tomorrow for them. I would like to know what the percentage of plays when Sac State actually sent 5 or more guys actually was, because it really felt like a lot. And it was very noticeable when they didn't. So it just, to me, Sac State was super aggressive on their blitzes. So
I'd be curious if the assumption is that Chase is a running quarterback, so they just ran a bunch of run blitzes versus sending like a single gap, just Mike linebacker up the middle type deal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were blitzing three gap basically.
Yep. And they were definitely deep along the defensive line too. They have good players. They have some huge boys at defensive tackle.
I talked to Charlie was there, and I talked to him. That was his first comment, was the size of their Sac State's interior defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Although I got called fat by a guy that was fatter than me, so that was just for holding a sign that said Sacramento's not a state and saying geography. Anyway, I watched him run back out on the field. I guarantee I can run faster than that guy. So, and I'm 46, bud. That's not saying a lot for your future. I do want to point out there was one where Q kind of got beat and then Chase got sacked. I want to point out it was obvious in the replay. You know, they were talking about a face mask on the broadcast. The face mask should have been, he had his hands in Quentin's face mask bad.
Yep, I noticed that in the rewatch too.
And so he was kind of doing this, trying to. He did a good job on that play, is what I'm trying to say, because that guy had his hands way up in his face, and it looked like that was a common thing with that guy. He got away with that a lot. It felt like.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they call.
Yeah, another player that lived up to the hype, Lofton Ogroski. He was tremendous.
He's quick.
He looks different. He was big last year as a freshman, but he looks like a stud wide receiver now. He just has that build to him right now. He's going to be good. So,
what did he have? Five for 76, and then two rushes. I don't remember.
Yep.
Okay.
So, they're looking to get him the ball, and they went away from that in the second half. But the first half, I loved that they were feeding him, because how many times last year did we say, "Get Griffin Wilde the fucking ball"? Oh, excuse me, creepers.
Oh,
sorry, Mom.
We'll let Brendan know we're doing that now.
No.
Oh, Brendan, if he's on, we'll point that out. Don't think he won't. It'll come up in the group chat later.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, week one, when you see those plays run, it's even clearer that it's been a giant discussion with the coaching staff, and that, you're exactly right, that there's just like, okay, we only have so many snaps. We have all these tools, all these athletes, but we need to find ways to get Lofton the ball. How can we get creative? Let's test this out immediately, first week of the season. So, I would expect there's going to be more to come, and it's not going to be exactly what you saw on Saturday with creative ways to get him the football.
Yep.
And since Seth was in our comments, I'd just like to point out, everybody, go on down to Wooden Legs, get a Garage Time beer. It's fantastic. Everybody I've talked to has absolutely loved it. Matt has a can, one of the Crowlers with the C instead of Growlers with the G. We did a live show down, and I got it put up. So if you missed the live show, it's up on YouTube in 2 places. It's on Spotify and on our website.
So I actually would like to call out, guys, real quick, that I watched that on the plane, streamed it, and I thought that turned out so well. The energy, and it was so cool watching that, feeling like it was a pregame show. And I feel like the energy of you guys all being in one place at one time, it gave me ridiculous FOMO, and I hated not being there. But I don't know, it came across great. I don't know how you guys felt, but I don't know. I say we figure out how to do that again, man. That was cool.
It was a blast.
Yeah, we're in discussions with it. I think Seth said we're welcome back when we want to. It all depends on game times and tailgating and all that stuff too. So
how many people watched?
I don't know, Chad. What was on?
Online?
How many people were like actually online? How many people were at the brewery?
A couple dozen, honestly. Yeah, it wasn't huge.
Yeah.
No, just curious.
Yeah, it varied. It started off with a few more and kind of tapered off towards the end of the show.
Sure. I mean, people have their schedule and their stuff to do, but.
Right. Yep. And it just got to be a long day, right? Because we started the show at 10. Tailgating didn't open until 1. Game wasn't until 6. So that just makes for a long day in Brookings. If you have stuff to do too at home. So we get it. Yeah. Other offensive stuff, Chad. Was there other offensive stuff that you want to talk about? I personally, I was just a little disappointed in the pass blocking of the 605 Hogs. Mentioned the blitzing. I just thought a veteran group would pick it up a little bit better. They were phenomenal run blocking. I think we saw just now on Twitter a couple hours ago, the SDSU football account put it out. But the Nate Adams just destroying that number 7. I'm not sure if he's a cornerback or a linebacker, whatever he was.
He probably doesn't play football anymore after that. I think he might have called it quits. Dude, that was Mason McCormick reincarnate watching that. God, that was fun.
That was awesome.
I absolutely loved your comment on that, where you said he got up and looked around to see who the hell hit him.
Yeah, what hit him? Yeah, that guy was just confused. His helmet was off, and that was a great hit. Anybody that's on X on Twitter, yeah, check out the main Jack's page. They posted Nate's hit. It was great.
It's awesome. Yep. Hey, shout out to him too, right? We've talked about his character a couple times and the veteran presence he's brought to the room. Kenyon Big Bow got the start, and I think Kenyon performed pretty well. Yep. They were platooning and subbing back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be easy for a guy like Nate in his position that came in with all these expectations, could have gone anywhere to play, came to SDSU, to maybe hang his head, pout a little bit about not getting the start. Obviously, he came in and just did a really good job. I thought he was really sound. That right side of the line when he's in there is huge. Like, obviously, I mean, it's pushing 700 pounds between him and Hagen there. So, so that's pretty cool.
I got the chance to meet his parents at the tailgate, and completely awesome, grounded people. Can see where he gets that from. So really a lot shorter than him though. So I don't know where his size comes from, but it must be dad. But he's a big human compared to those two. So
yeah, that's a great. Sorry, Matt, you had a great point just with his mentality and going in and going, all right, this is, at least for this game, this is what's happening now. I don't know what the path is in the future. I'm going to make the most of it. Like, that's the kind of stuff that Nate, if you're watching, that's the kind of stuff that me as a dad, as a football player, as a football dad, like, that's the kind of stuff that I will show my kid and be like, all right, check this out. This is how you do it. And you just keep going and it'll sort itself out in the end. Right. So no, that was cool.
Mm-hmm. John Neff just asked which lineman got hurt. Quentin Christensen was dealing with cramps in the fourth quarter there. Yeah, so he'll be all right. It's just cramps. He'll be okay. Hey, so Seth said earlier that the beer is getting slammed right now. So if you want some, make sure you stop into Wooden Legs and get it picked up before it runs out. This is awesome. We're trying to break their record of what did they say, 27 days, Chad, yesterday?
Yeah, 27 would be the record. I think 28 is the current record.
Okay.
They said we went through about 20 gallons during the show before we left. So that's not bad. That's not bad. We did give out some samples at tailgate, but we aren't going to be able to do that every week. So
Yep. Okay. So defense. Let's flip it over to defense now. Dallas, did you? Yeah, you haven't seen it yet. So my initial impression, he got the game ball for me for defense, but Cullen McShane, I talked about him when I went to practice about how much passion he was playing with. He was a monster yesterday. Again, this is like a PFF stat, but I don't know what his run stuff rate was, but he was in the hole, just tackling running backs left and right. And just right at the line of scrimmage. And he was hitting them so hard, they weren't driving forward. Cullen was pushing them back. It's just awesome to see him, Joel Ullman, Matt Gearing, Chase Van Tol, that leap over the line is the offensive line or the blocker, whoever it was, and getting up and then getting the sack was one of the coolest football plays I've ever seen.
I had to rewatch that clip so many times because I could never figure out what happened.
Yeah.
Even live, it's still, I thought maybe he jumped and got pushed, but it wasn't even really that when I went back and looked at it. That's the craziest football thing I've ever seen, other than when I don't know, was it Palomalu or something, just jumped over the line and sacked the guy. I mean, it was like crazy.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, awesome. Chase. You've now been mentioned in the same sentence as Troy Polamalu.
Honestly, Chad, that's a great comparison.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. What else?
And
Chad?
apparently CVT's a fine nickname because people call his dad DVT. So
CVT.
Nice.
I got told that at tailgate. So
All right, CVT. I like that.
Yeah. Chad, who else on defense? What was standing out to you?
well, those two for sure. Obviously, Rip had some good plays. Rip was in the backfield quite a bit. Dawson Ripperda. You know, our defensive line gave him fits all night. I don't know that it's hard to call out other than the edge rushers because I don't think we had. What's that? Go ahead.
No, because like we talk about, you don't, a D tackle can play a perfect game and you never hear a name called, right? So you guys just went through and you listed 5 linebackers as potential players in the game. You know what that means? That means that the 4 or 5 guys that played nose and played played 1 technique and 3 technique all played fantastic games.
Mm-hmm. Hey, one player I want to shout out though, or 2 players that no one else is going to notice besides their parents and me. Mac Muller, backup defensive tackle. I see on the replay, I saw Jay Cipher was on crutches. Mac Muller was a walk-on, second-year player for us, wrestling background out of Iowa. And I don't know how many snaps he actually played, but I did notice him out there. He did a great job of holding the line of scrimmage, holding the point of attack there. That was awesome. And then Dallas, one of your guys, Nick Wells, was on the field. I forgot to go back and look at the game that he got hurt last year, but it was in Missouri Valley play when he got hurt. It may have been the UND game, but I want to look that up. But he is back already from that knee injury, and he looked good out there. He's a tenacious player, so that was really cool to see because we do know we need some defensive end depth, just this season. So
I was getting really excited for him last year, so that's good to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. So those are 2 guys that I want to shout out because that was just cool to see them both out there. And I saw the 50. I'm like, geez, Wells is back already? And I just checked again the program just to make sure. Sure enough, very cool. Marker game. Okay. So, yeah, great. Obviously, Kobe Claiborne's sack dance. That was awesome. I don't know what that was, but I really appreciated those moves.
I loved it. God, that guy has got personality. If we said out loud on this that he needs to go into some kind of broadcasting when he's done playing football, I will continue to say that until it happens.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
He is good.
Well, we know Zach Larson's asking how many defensive linemen played. They had to have had 10 or 11 in there. This is going to drive me crazy, guys. The tight end to defensive end from Kimball Whitelake. What's his name? The chat's going to get it before us.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Did the freshman defensive end get any snaps? I did not see him out there. You can check the tracker, but we'll see on that. But yeah, so Wells, I'm guessing we're pushing 10, 11 defensive linemen again. Berceau didn't play, Dallas. Mason Berceau was in a boot.
Wasn't okay.
Leiferman, Blake Leiferman. There we go. Thanks, guys. Johnny, you had it, but you pulled a Chad and spelled it wrong. But Zach Larson got it right. So, yeah,
that's okay. My Sacramento is not a state sign was spelled wrong too. So, which is perfect. Some Sacramento State fan said that, I think, on Twitter, and my only response was LOL, and they probably don't get why that's funny.
And it's perfect because they use is it Reading Rainbow, like the more you know, shooting star thing. Oh my god!
And I can't blame anyone but myself because my mother-in-law just wrote what I wrote. So like my handwriting, you wouldn't be able to read. So then nobody would know if I spelled it.
You could have just pretended it was intentional, and no one would know.
That's all right.
I assume
no one would know. You guys would all know.
Yeah, I love it.
I went to school for engineering, not spelling.
Let's talk about some of the non-football stuff. We always do that. So Seth here says, how about the false starts? I want to give a shout out to Rabbit Nation for showing up. We give credit for at least a few of those negative yards. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, I agree. That was awesome. Even with the defensive line was jumping. I don't know what was going on with the cadence or whatever, but that was cool too. Fans, I thought the fans were good. Like
Yeah.
Brennan said, the fans kind of faded in the second half, but there
That's
wasn't a
true.
ton to cheer about in the second half. I don't know. I thought we made noise on third down pretty well.
The first half we did, but then we kind of stalled out for points, and I think it's going to happen when you hit a lull in the game. You're going to have a lull from the crowd.
Yeah, my
you
dad
can only
said
yell for so long.
Yeah, my dad said the whole second half was pretty flat all around, crowd, both teams, everything.
Tailgating wise, I loved being back in the backyard, Chad. I know you were new back there, so I was having to show you around and teach you the rules a little bit.
I don't know that back there. I would go over there every week.
Yeah. You're like,
I miss the shade from the trees the most. That I will say. I miss actually that's second to the people. We had great people that we were around, but I was able to go back, run over, and say hi to all those folks too.
There we go. Yeah. But I thought it was good. I thought the tailgating was really good.
It was.
UPD did come in right away to our spot and ID a few folks.
Did they need to call in the IDs though?
Yeah, that was interesting. They called in a few IDs just to make sure. I don't know if they were legit or what they were doing for sure, but it was really interesting. Sounds like they were a little more heavy-handed at a few other spots. At least the two that were in our spot seemed to be kind of nice about it, at least. So,
I mean, to be fair to them, we didn't have any wristbands at the time, but to be fair to us, it's a mile walk across tailgate to go get a wristband. So
yeah. Second thing, got to address the lines. I know a lot of people are mad about the lines, and I get it. I was shocked when I got up there at around, I don't know, by the time we left the backyard, it was 5, got up there, 10-minute walk, 5:10, and the line was super long already. That surprised me. I wrote this in Rants and Raves. When I got to the front, I was able to see why it was long. They were making everyone empty their bags and pockets and making you spin, and it just was weird. I've never had to do that to get into a game before. And someone brought up that with the legislature passing the conceal to carry stuff on campus this last session and that going into law, that's new. Like you can carry on campus where in the past it's been against the law. And so that's changed some things. So I think the Board of Regents did have to come up with a policy on that now. And I know, so that's like that. I remember that my buddy Tim sent me, what the Board of Regents response was to this. I just don't remember exactly what it said, and I can't find the actual text of what it was. And so that's what the changes are about at the gate, is this concealed to carry law, because I don't exactly know how it is, what the interpretation is for the stadium, but I know this is part of it. I'll try to get some answers this week. I'd be surprised if it's the same at the next home game. They're getting a lot of flack for this, folks. The department is. And so it's not going to,
so
yeah, I don't think it's going to change. I think it's going to change. I don't think it's going to be this way. So yeah. Chad, any thoughts on those two things?
Yeah. I mean, I probably was a bad person and zipper merged into my line, so I got through faster than I probably should have. But most South Dakotans aren't used to the zipper merge, so I don't think they knew what was going on.
No one noticed, Chad. Yeah,
I'm not obvious with the giant.
Minnesotans can't figure out a zipper merge either. We're driving north on 169.
Yeah, I mean, I brought my signs in. The one chick come up. I had Dan's kid carrying those signs, and she's like, "You can't bring those in." And I had the other guy was like, there was a guy beyond her that was doing all the security, looking through everybody's bags. And so when he got through my stuff, I just grabbed the signs and walked by him. So I don't know, like my signs didn't have anything offensive on them. So
yeah,
I felt like I was going to do what I wanted, but I'm just kind of like that.
Yeah. I know, like my dad really was unhappy about it and stuff too. So, it just is, I don't know, like it just was the wrong feel for that type of crowd. I don't know. It just was bad. It was just bad. And people were complaining about it from going through it right away, even if they didn't have to wait in line, just like, why the hell did you make me empty my pockets and not knowing the rules, right? there was water bottles sitting under the table where we checked in. So they were taking people's water bottles, which has been the policy since the stadium opened, that you could bring a water bottle in to fill it at one of the filling stations.
Yeah, they told me no to that.
And so, we were like, no, you can bring in empty water bottles to fill them. And they're like, oh, okay. So whatever. It just was weird. It was just poorly done. Also, the walkout song, the run out song. This was more of a walkout song. It opened Dallas with Chris Stapleton's South Dakota, which was cool.
Good.
It was good because it had a lot of
I don't even know what that is. You already lost me.
So
Chris
it had
Stapleton's one of the better country singers to ever come along. So go.
So it was just like it's slow. It's slow though. He just kind of sings about like finding trouble in South Dakota. And then it had kind of like overlay with the state flag, and you could see the flag and some of the players like stand in front of this jackrabbit thing. It was fine, but then it never dropped. Like, no, there was never any change to the tempo, never any like blending with something harder to it. Seven Nation Army came on, but Seven Nation Army is just too slow. Like in its original form.
That's not a run-out song.
Yeah.
Oh, so they tried that one before.
And that's just what it ended up being. It just was like,
wow.
Everyone was just waiting for it to drop.
It was discombobulated, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I would describe it. Like,
yeah. And it never did. It never did. It was just weird. It was, weird.
Well, hey, first game for everybody. We'll figure it out.
Yep. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some changes for that too. So, yeah. All right. Game balls.
Well, you gave yours already, didn't you?
I gave mine. Yep.
Maybe remind us who that was.
So I said Ogroski, and then McShane, and then I gave the Flyers, the Gunners on the punt coverage team. I thought they were great. They were down there and lickety split.
I'm going to go with Juice for the 159 yards that he had on the ground.
Okay.
Could be an argument for CVT, but I'm going to go with McShane there too. 7 solos is a pretty good accomplishment. And, our long snapper is a stud, and he's going to get my kudos this year.
There we go.
Ooh, I like that. He needs more appreciation, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
Brian
you know what?
Doesn't know discombobulated.
I mean, anything I give is going to be just off of the stat sheet and watching highlights, and that does not tell the full story of the game, so I feel bad doing that. But it's tough not to give it to Loffridge for coming in and producing and doing what you're supposed to do at a very high level in the first game. And also, I mean, the combination of him and the offensive line, I mean, we didn't even mention time of possession. I mean, that was like 40-20, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Pretty close.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, that you're running the piss out of the ball and you're doing your job and you're, extending runs. Like there's just no way to do that, control the game like that without that kind of performance. So definitely got to go with him. Excited to see what he does the rest of the year. And I know we all give each other a hard time about picking position groups, but I will blindly say defensive tackles in general based on the performance and of the linebackers and the fact that they were held to 24 yards of rushing. This team, and we don't even talked about that. This is the team that thinks they're putting up 50 points a game, and they would have been shut out if it wasn't for, was that a muff? What resulted in the field goal?
Muff punt.
Muff punt resulted in the field goal, right?
Yep.
So it would have been a shutout. 24 yards rushing is hysterical. I mean,
yeah.
For a team that thinks that they are going to win a national championship and that they're too good for everything else.
Yep. Somebody told me they left their go-go boots at home.
I don't know. I mean, I heard no offense. I think I've seen the went offense.
Yeah.
Gone.
Rev was saying they should call it the Nova because, like, in Spanish means doesn't go.
Yep, that'll work.
That's why they didn't sell the Nova the first year it came out. Anyway.
Yep. One thing, and I don't want to go too far into this because we beat this horse to death, but I do want to shout out Dr. Luke Wood, the Sac State president, who did talk a lot of smack, obviously, this offseason leading up to this game. But he did have a nice message posted on Twitter a picture of him and President Dunn talking together. And he says some stuff about Sac State at the beginning. Thinks they should go FBS. We should go FBS. We're ready. And he says, congratulations to their new coach. Kudos to President Dunn. He's a class act. Reflection on South Dakota. First time to the state. South Dakota is actually a beautiful state. Surprisingly, yeah, I know. Surprisingly nice.
I actually like that. That was
yeah. Decent food, great people, fun fans, awesome tailgate. For all the SDSU students, we love your spirit and your pride. And then he closes with, we learn from our successes, but even more from our failures. So like, that's a really classy message.
Yeah.
And that's fine. If you're going to talk your talk beforehand, be willing to have like some accountability like he did there on the back end. So Dr. Wood, if you're not seeing it, you won't listen to this, but I don't know. Good luck to you guys and your goals of going FBS, man. So yeah,
I felt the same way about that response, and he brought up a good point as our students were great again.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get them there and that full every game.
Yep.
Because they really bring that extra energy. Get the rest of the crowd into it.
I forget what show. I think Alex called it out on the live show. I think, guys, it's a freaking holiday weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was not very many years ago where there would have been 300 students there.
Yep.
I mean, like within the last 5 years ago. I mean, just going into COVID, I bet.
Yep.
I mean, there was
probably.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot.
Pre-national championship, basically.
It was within the run of this show where that weekend we were bitching about like, oh, the crowd's great, but the students weren't there. There were no students. Like, I mean, that was how long have we been doing this now? Like 6 years?
Yeah. And the stadium it was sold out, but it wasn't completely full. But the South Dakota State Fair is happening, which is huge in South Dakota for the egg community. And the Minnesota State Fair is still happening too. And the Minnesota State Fair is monstrous and a huge tradition for families to go to that weekend as well. And you'll notice like, well, geez, why did Drake sell out? But this game took so long to sell out. Drake's the Beef Bowl in a couple weeks. It's going to be packed in there for Drake because the egg community is going to come and support it. So that's going to be really cool. Hey, let's just give a shout out to Johnny. Johnny runs the Jackrabbit Ticket Exchange Facebook page and does a hell of a job with that. So Johnny, thanks for doing that. You and Sierra doing that is a huge service to Jackrabbit fans and helps people get tickets into the hands of other Jackrabbit fans for a reasonable price. You guys have that policy about not marking up too much. So thanks for doing that, man. That's a huge labor that you're taking on there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, we have to shout out Cubbies. Before we did game balls, we should have shouted out Cubbies there. Cubbies still flying our flag. Still cool to see. Last night when we were driving home, I took my whole family to the game, which was fun. All 5 of us and everyone sat pretty much for most of the game, which was awesome. Julie was practicing tying my shoe. But anyways, we went to Cubbies and we were talking about, or on the way home, that's where I'm going with this. We were talking about our favorite part of the day as we close out the day. And mine was going to Cubbies because I took Kelsey on so many dates to Cubbies when we were in college. And that was the first time all 5 of us went to Cubbies together as a family. Kind of felt like a full circle moment. I didn't have the bacon cheeseburger, but I did have the game day burger. That's probably what I ordered on one of our first dates there. So I think everyone has those good memories of Cubbies, right? I talk about that a lot. And it's still such a great place to be in downtown Brookings. So thank you, Cubbies, for all your support.
That's an awesome point. I actually don't think I brought that up last year. I got to have a beer at Cubbies with my daughter Aspen after she turned 21 last year. And, knowing that I took her, honestly, like we did her post. We had like something when she was a baby, like a party at Cubbies when that was like just a side room off to the side. Like it was like an extra, right?
Yeah.
It was like kind of closed off and like we had to like open it up and we had like family and stuff there. So like, having her in college and having her there as a 1-year-old and then getting to go back and have a beer there, like that's what it's all about. So no, Cubbies, love it.
That's
cool. I
cool.
believe it was a banquet room at that time.
Yeah, there we go, banquet room. Thank you.
And Cubbies, great service. Gus and his crew do just a phenomenal job. I've never had a bad experience there, honestly.
Yeah. Hey, Chad, will you put up Pat's comment there? That's a really good question. I'm sorry we didn't talk about this. Any lingering concerns about our red zone efficiency? The heavy package with Pika only used once. Yes, I have some concerns, but as we mentioned, this Sacramento State defensive line had some really, really big bodies that they could move in. We're not going to see too many 320, 340-pound defensive tackles this season like we did yesterday. And maybe we'll see one, but we're not going to see teams where they can run in 3 of them for their goal line package. It's really, really hard to get movement with that many big boys right there. So,
is there truth to the $4 million that I heard that they spent?
I don't know. That's floating around.
So,
I keep hearing that.
Okay. No.
I want to know, is that true?
I'll chime in there. I mean, it was reported by Sam. So, but he also corrected it later. So yes, they raised $4 million, but that was full athletic department NIL. That was not just football. So Sam posted that, which I obviously, if Sam posted, it's true, or it's not like, I mean, he doesn't post bullshit. Right. So, but he later corrected and said it's not just football only. That is full athletic department money that they raised for NIL.
That would mean some's going to basketball, obviously, because isn't Shaq their coach? I think Shaq's going to be their coach.
Yeah, I'm sure. So. No, not coach.
GM,
whatever.
Oh, my bad.
Mike
Bibby's
sure he's
going to be on campus, like, working 12-hour days all winter.
Yeah. But hey, Mike Bibby's their coach. That's cool. I loved Mike Bibby.
Oh, I remember him.
Yeah. Arizona headband. All right. Montana State. Let's turn the page. One final thought for me, at least. We didn't know what the hell we had for sure with this team. We didn't know what Sac State was bringing in. I am just happy. Seth Meyer said this before the game. I don't care if we win by 1 point or 50 points. I'm just happy we got the win. How fun was it to start the season with a win when there was so much unknown? And we really looked pretty good. Like, there's a lot to clean up, Chad, like you mentioned. But overall, like, I'm very happy with what we saw. That's stuff to build on.
I mean, defensively, that's perfection. I know Berge can find 30 things he didn't like, but man, you don't get much better than that.
Yep.
Well, Dallas brought up a good point about getting this win out of the way. So I'm going to let him speak about that on how we needed to get this win, right? Versus our whole schedule, Dallas.
We talked about this before we started.
So Dallas pointed out that we really needed to come.
You're like,
come
you
away
should
from...
definitely talk about this when we're live. And then you asked, and I completely drew a blank, Chad.
You want me to talk? I can.
Please go ahead. Tell
Dallas
everyone
pointed out how we really needed to come away from these first 2 weekends. Matt has to go offline. He's
I gotta go. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
Matt, come back. Matt, where'd you go? You can laugh. I prefer if you fall apart on here. This is how tired I am right now. My brain, I had a great idea and then it's gone. So the point is, we talked about this earlier. Initially, what did we say? Like, obviously, if you're in the locker room, if you're a coach, whatever, you're 1-0 every week. Watching as a fan at arm's length, look at the schedule. 1-1 coming out of weeks 1 and 2 is fine. We would be fine coming out 1-1. Do I think we can and will win this week? Sure. But you're 1-1. That is not a problem. You got that first one out of the way and looked really freaking good. Mm-hmm. So at this point, if you want to, and if you're a player or whatever, tune out because we can look forward and you can't. You can, if you do drop a game early, right? If things don't go well this week, if you want a top 2 seed, you can't lose again. But if you can knock this one out, coming off of that, emotional win, getting Dan Jackson his first win and just kicking the shit out of them on defense, right? If you do that, then you're able to basically the rest of the season can just kind of work itself out because you have there's like 6 weeks of get right games coming into that. Now, Matt, I said you could come back on and now I can't focus because you're laughing so hard. And I don't even know what you're still laughing at, but I'm just going to keep talking because Matt's absolutely losing his mind. He might black out. I don't know. He's coming back to us now. Are you?
So Chad and Ron.
Anyway, I'm sorry, man. I didn't do it to distract you. Keep talking, Dallas.
No,
Someone's got to keep us from dead air.
No, it's fine, man. We're in garage time here already. It's 10 minutes, but no, that was my point. That you get that out of the way, and you look at the way the rest. Basically, if you look at the way the rest of the schedule shapes up, get taking care of that win early this week. Yes, I think we can and will win. But even if you do stumble for some reason on the road against a very good team that's trying to rebound from getting the piss knocked out of them at Oregon, Big Ten Oregon, which still feels wrong. You can recover from that. There's a bunch of time because this team is not the same team that we're going to see in week 10. And I know I'm probably stating the obvious, but everyone needs to remember that because I think like we even sunk into this thought of like, oh, we're back and everything's good. And like we just glazed over a whole bunch of huge question marks that we've talked about all off season that we're like, oh, we're good now. We're back. The Jacks are the Jacks. Right. So, but there's still this team is going to change so much in the next 2 to 3 months that just I hope everybody kind of keeps that in mind. Does that make sense?
It does. And, I know that I don't know how many, but I know they have a lot of studs coming back, like on the lines out in Montana. So I think that's what we're going to have to watch for is our line's going to have to step it up. And, that's where it's going to be won. I mean, it's cliche, but it's going to be won in the trenches.
No, well, and they I know they did lose, I believe, the majority of their offensive line, and that was, I mean, they were arguably they were as good on the offensive front as anybody in the FCS last year. That definitely led the way, other than their freak quarterback, who is now with who's Tommy football with?
He got dropped. He was with the Raiders.
Oh, was he cut?
Got dropped.
No.
Yeah. Oh, man. I think he got dropped and Cam Miller did not.
Huh.
Well, they both got cut, but I think Cam Miller got back on the practice squad.
Cam got on the practice squad. Well, if nothing else, I mean, Tommy could be hopefully he gets a shot, but otherwise, I mean, he kind of the type of athlete he is and the size that he is, he feels he could wind up being a Canadian legend for the next 20 years too.
Dallas, before we get going into the Montana State preview, sure. Can you tell us about Renegade Regeneration?
Sure. Jump in quick here, running short on time, but I started a company called Renegade Regeneration. Gonna make supplements geared towards, honestly, just people that want to stay fit, want to feel athletic, want to stay healthy, want to, I don't know, just be able to perform like they used to be able to perform. It's not about being a competitive athlete. It's not about being a fitness model or any bull crap like that. Just there's certain things that you need to help yourself and sustain your body, your mind, whatever it is, as you get older, to be a parent and a professional and to hopefully work out or jog or play pickleball or whatever it is that you want to do. So got one product called Hydrate, working on second product right now, posted the other day asking everybody's opinion. The two top suggestions I got were a sleep aid and a pre-workout, and ideally a low stimulant pre-workout. So those are the two things I'm looking at. But it would mean a lot to me if you tried out Hydrate. It's a clean hydration powder. Go to renegaderegeneration.com. That's renegaderegeneration.com. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Dallas. Thank you, Renegade Regeneration, for your support. So Montana State went into Oregon yesterday and got destroyed, kind of like everyone expected. I don't think there's any value in watching this game or that highlight. They were awesome. Oregon is just a different tier. Like there's a reason people are talking about them as national title contenders, like the short list this season. That's a tough game for a really new look Montana State team as well. They're dealing with some injuries. We'll talk about some of the players to watch for them. But their starting center, who'd gone through camp as the starting center, missed yesterday's game, and they had to move their left guard to center. JT Reed started at center for him. That's tough. That's a really tough thing to have happen in an environment like that, especially. And then they had some other injuries on the back end. Their Mike linebacker dropped out with an elbow injury. Their free safety was seen like in a boot and crutches. So that stinks for them that they're kind of banged up already. But some of the highlights, Obviously, Taco Dowler had a huge game yesterday.
Stud.
6 receptions off 12 targets. So they want to get Taco the ball. 5'9", 170 for Mr. Dowler. And we know he's a phenomenal kick and punt returner. He's an absolute weapon. This year, they're actually going to be able to highlight him, I think, as a receiver a little more, and that looks like it's the plan. So
it helps when you have a quarterback that can throw.
Right. So again, good transition there. Their quarterback, Justin Lamson, is a Sanford transfer, and he did see some playing time at Sanford as well. So he's legit. He can throw the ball. So that's going to be a fun one to watch with him. Dallas, what are you keeping an eye on in this one?
I was going to say their offense or their offensive line. So I don't know if that center Mastel's going to be back or not. Did whatever you read, did you see if it was a serious long-term thing?
So oh goodness, why can't I remember his name now? Their beat writer does a phenomenal job of covering Victor.
I think I've interviewed him.
Yeah,
I think we have. Yes. And
so Victor Flores, 406 is his X handle. Victor Flores 406. If you want to follow him along this week, he does a phenomenal job covering them. But he said in the post-game interview that the center Mastel will be available next week.
Okay.
But it didn't sound like it was like Victor kind of said in his thing, like, what does that actually mean? Like, he'll be available. Is he going to start? Is he still banged up? Are they going to be able to rotate him in? So, yeah.
Well, if nothing else, I mean, that sounds like it's not they're not considering it to be a season-ending thing, so that's good for him, good for them.
Yeah, that's how I'd take that too. That maybe he won't be back, but if they absolutely needed him, they could put him on the field.
Yeah, so I mean, even if they do, you've got a little bit more time with the group that they've got in there because they had to insert two. I think ended up with 2 starters that they weren't planning on for that game, but they got another week to gel and to work together. So I think that they'll be ready. But that to me was the top thing and the top question mark. I mean, the quarterback we know can play football. You got Taco Dowler, and then even at the running back spot. I mean, if you've got a gelled solid offensive line in the Big Sky, you're going to be able to wear people down and move the ball behind them. So that to me is my biggest question mark. Defensively, I honestly don't know much about Montana State. I need to get into that and study that a little bit here this week before the game.
Yeah. At running back, just want to talk about Adam Jones quick. I think we'd be doing a disservice if we didn't talk about Adam Jones and,
for sure.
and Julius Davis. They're probably the best 1-2 punch in the FCS in running back stables right now. Adam Jones was he runner up last year for Walter Payton?
I think so.
I think he was.
I don't remember.
And he just looks different. He's 6'1", 200. Just wears like a little bit of a turtleneck thing. So just looks a little weird. Julius Davis is the Wisconsin transfer, really a tough runner, downhill runner. He's built a little different, 5'10", 210, so a little thicker than Jones is. So just I like that duo. Just not going to like them this week, hopefully. So on defense, though, Dallas, you mentioned, you're not 100% sure who to keep an eye on. So this defensive line feels like they've been around forever. Hunter Parsons, Zach Black, Kenneth Iden, Bryce Grebe, just like I know, and Grebe's young. He's only a sophomore, but I think he had a brother that played. But those other guys, Paul Brott, like those guys have been playing forever. It feels like they started probably the last time they were in Brookings. These 4, like it's just nuts to me that's the case. So,
well, every time we play these guys, it's one for the ages, and I don't expect this week to be any different. If it comes down to the wire, do not be surprised by that.
Yeah. Ron says we have a very inexperienced secondary with freshmen, and I noticed that you guys have a number of freshmen and redshirt sophomores on the 2 deep in the secondary. I thought this was interesting that when you watch the Oregon highlights, like your cornerbacks were getting just drilled by the Oregon wide receivers, and they have some big wide receivers. Oregon did, it looked like in the highlights, but man alive, like that could be something to watch. We might see some more wide receiver bubble screens, some tight end bubble screens, kind of things like that that are going to try to get some of these bigger, more physical wide receivers matched up and make these cornerbacks tackle in open space like that. Taco showed he can play.
Yeah, you can.
So I don't know. That's one thing that I'm keeping an eye on for our offense versus their defense.
I'd like to see just better pass pro this game, definitely.
Yeah,
And Chase needs time, otherwise he's not going to be effective as a passer.
Yep.
and it's going to be interesting because both teams, I just had this thought of like, I think maybe one reason I'm not thinking about their defense is because coming off of that game, you're thinking about the Jackrabbit offense and the stuff that we know that they can and will clean up and what they're working on. But flip the script, I guarantee Montana State's saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably not. I don't want to say they're not paying attention to film, because of course you do. I mean, it's a game. It's an important game. It has national implications in ranking and seeding and blah blah blah. But coming off of struggling and not performing the way that I'm sure they expected out at a Big Ten school and a top 10 FBS school, they're probably just focused on like, all right, here are the glaring weaknesses that we have, and we need to shore these things up before we even worry about exploiting what somebody else is doing. So I think that I'm going to assume that both teams are a little bit introverted in the way that they're looking at things coming into this week.
Yep. And the one thing that's going to be kind of a great equalizer in this one, in my opinion, is this is the Gold Rush game. This, Dallas, you've been at the Gold Rush game.
So fun. If anybody has a chance to go to this game, go to Bozeman, go to this game. It is a riot. I was out there last time. I wish to God I was going this week, but I'm not.
Yep. So that is going to be wild. Like, we're going to have to withstand a heavy onslaught of emotion right away, I think, and that crowd is going to be into it. We're just kind of have to, I think, weather the storm and weather those initial blows, in my opinion.
Yeah, they have a great fan base. They have an intelligent fan base that knows what's going on. They, you know what I mean? Like, there's fans that show up and there's fans that understand football, and they have fans that understand football.
Yep. All right. So before we get into our predictions here, I need to talk about Northwestern Mutual. I know with September coming up here, STSU will be announcing our candidate for the Alex's Lemonade Stand Challenge that they've been doing. Listen to Stone's interview with Chris Schenkel out of the Sioux Falls office and Aiden Bauman from USD just today, actually. As I was doing a grocery pickup, and they're excited about it. We're excited about it to raise some money for our person once that is announced. And we're going to be chasing that cure, with Alex's Lemonade Stand for pediatric cancer research. But Northwestern Mutual, if you need your life insurance needs, retirement planning, whatever it is that you're looking at, you can talk to Northwestern Mutual, especially the Sioux Falls office, and they'll get you hooked up with what you need for whatever your financial goals are. So thank you, Chris, and your team. All right.
Yeah, I saw Chris had the donuts out again this last week. Had Flyboy Donuts stand up there raising money for our candidate. So
whoever that is,
we will chase the cure together, and we will do real well. We raised 300 and change for putting shots.
All right.
Can't remember the exact number, but I want to say 341.
Yeah, that's a good start. Cool. Good work, Chad, on those.
Yep.
Dallas, I think Chad got to go first last week. So, Dallas, who are you taking for your offensive player of the week in this one?
After that last one, it's really hard not to take Loffridge, but I think this is tough. You know what? I'm going to go with Ogrowski. Give me Lofton.
Steeler.
Yes.
All right. Chad?
Number 88. Great game.
Ooh, I like that one.
All right. And I am going to go with Bullock, Alex Bullock.
He had a good game too, actually.
Yeah. Yep. Defensively, I am going to go with Dante Johnson in this one. Dante. Chad?
I want to go with the guy that got the interception, Jaden Oliver. He's number 2, right? He's kind of the athletic freak or space alien is
Space alien is what I keep calling him. Yeah.
Space alien.
Yep. Dallas, what about you?
Jim Poppin in the comment just nailed it. Give me CVT.
He's suspended for a half, Dallas. Do you think he's going to have
He
that?
doesn't know that.
How would I know
Dallas
that?
does not know that.
Oh,
How would I know
We
that?
didn't mention that. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he got a targeting, which was
in the fourth.
the correct call, but still
no
kinda
idea.
soft.
No,
All
you know what? I'm doubling down.
Okay.
All
Keeping
right.
it.
All
He's
right. I
gonna
like
do
that.
something
That is
awesome.
how much I believe in him.
Love it.
Yep.
Love it.
It's kind of
All
like the M3 CVT.
Yeah. Chad, what do you got for a score prediction here?
Well, will it be a high scoring? Will it be a low scoring? I'm going to lean towards low scoring since these are two really good defenses. I say 27-21 Jacks. And that's a fairly low scoring affair for the amount of firepower on either sides of the offensive ball.
It's fair.
Dallas?
24-13.
What?
Wow.
That's the score I wrote down. 24-13.
You don't know who I think's going to win.
Oh.
Jackrabbits.
Ooh. Oh. God.
I do. I mean, this is very much, again, this guys, like I fully like if the score is flipped, I'm not gonna, think the season's over on Sunday. Like I think that Montana State is an excellent team still. I think that they're probably still a semifinal team. And I think that, again, there's a lot of guys, we have great athletes that are still figuring stuff out. And I think that, this is the season's a marathon, not a sprint, but no, I think we got this.
All right. So defense, neither Chad or Dallas believes in you. Jackrabbits 24-10. Jackrabbits 24-10. There we go. All right. 27-13. Got some scores. Ron, where's your pick? Come on, Ron. Do you sign off at 9:00?
I doubt it, but maybe he's
right.
older than me, I guess. So,
you're up there.
Man.
Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks everyone for tuning in. If Seth's still on, thank you to Wooden Legs. That was awesome yesterday. Really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone that came out. Thank you to everyone that's buying the beer.
Go buy more.
It's awesome. Go buy more. Let's break this record. Thank you to our other sponsors for this show, especially Kubota Dealers of South Dakota, Hadrick Ranch, Cubbies, Renegade Regeneration, and Northwestern Mutual. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it. And with that, go big, go blue,
go Jacks.